it cannot pass.
And there was another one we read earlier in Job that goes into Numbers 2. That there was a timetable that Esau wasn't going to go past that. Now give me the book of Revelation, Revelation, the 9th chapter, and start from the 12th verse.
Oh, another good example is Nebuchadnezzar. No, I'm sorry, Belshazzar. Belshazzar, when the handwriting on the wall,
right.
mighty Tickle-Upharsin.
And he was killed that night, man.
Right.
He was taken over by the Medo-Persian Empire that very night.
Yeah.
That's where you get that statement today that's saying the handwriting is on the wall. Came right out of the Bible. All right?
Revelation chapter 9, verse 12. One woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter.
Go ahead.
And the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar which is before the Most High, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, Loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. And the four angels were loose which were prepared for an hour, and a day, and a month, and a year, for to slay the third part of men.
There goes your numbers again.
4 angels.
4 archangels.
Yep.
All right.
The Most High said he's going to destroy Babylon in 1 hour.
In 1 hour. Yep. Go ahead.
And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000.
Now, you got these so-called scholars like Harold Lindsay and all these other scholars saying that that's the Chinese army. It ain't talking about an army. It's talking about missiles. All right. Go ahead.
And I heard the number of them. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire, and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire, and smoke, and brimstone. By these three was the third part of men killed, by the fire, and by the smoke, and by the brimstone, which issued out of their mouths.
All right, now let's go from there to Revelation, the 6th chapter, and start from the 5th verse.
Revelation chapter 6, verse 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine.
The oil and the wine represent this knowledge. That's why this devil couldn't destroy this Bible. Go ahead.
It says, And when he had opened the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, Come and see. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse. And his name that sat on him was Death.
We're living in that time right now. We're living in the time of the pale horse. Go ahead.
And hell followed him with him. And power was given unto them, over the 4th part of the earth, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. And when he had opened the 5th seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of the Most High.
That's talking about the apostles and them that were put to death by the Romans 2,000 years ago. Go ahead.
And for the testimony which they held.
What's the testimony which they held? When they went back 2,000 years ago, when they was out there cursing Esau out. Even though there wasn't, let me just say this. They wasn't looking at Romans and saying, you are Edomite, you're Esau. They didn't understand that because Esau had changed his name. Esau got so messed up, they didn't even know that they were Edomites. That's why Herod, which he was an Edomite, and he looked just like a damn Roman, they call him an Edomite. Oh, that's an Edomite. Just like you got an American white, Caucasian, so-called white man, call a Russian white man. Oh, well, that's a Russian, and that's you all the same. You're all the same thing. You're Edomites, man. So these Edomites are confused their damn self, man. Then you got the Luciferians. They're so stupid. They think Lucifer is an actual spiritual demon. Lucifer is not an actual spiritual demon. Lucifer is a so-called white man. It's Esau in their power. The power elite, that's the Lucifer. So how you gonna worship? You really worshiping yourself, you don't even know it. You think you're worshiping some spiritual demon Satan? Lucifer is a so-called white man. You the one with the light in your hand, man. You the light bearer. Go ahead.
And they cried with a
loud. And the Most High even called you the cherub. Give me Ezekiel 28:1. You got guys that read that and don't even understand it, man. They were telling you that in the beginning, when the serpent came to Eve, that was Esau. Now he was dark though, like Cain was dark. Cain is really Esau in the reincarnation, but he started out as a dark man. Then he received that mark. That mark was leprosy, where his pigment was taken away. So when he came back as Esau, he came back with the mark on him. All right?
Ezekiel 28:1.
Because you can be born a dark person, all of a sudden you turn to a white man. You see people that get leprosy, man.
Yep.
You know? That happened to Miriam, the sister of Moses. The Most High got so mad at her that he turned her into a damn white woman. Go ahead.
Ezekiel 28:1. The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, saying to the prince of Tyrus, thus
Right,
saith...
the Prince of Tyrus is also talking about America. They ain't talking about the people, the ancient people of Tyrus. It's talking about the white man in America. Just like Babylon is talking about this man in America, or America. Just like Egypt is talking about this man over here, America. Assyria. Go ahead.
Son of man, saying to the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord God, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God.
Right, that's what this white man been saying. That he's a god, man. And he had that. You know what proves that? That he puts up his image.
Right.
He puts up his image. Give me that, brother. Was that Second Thessalonians?
Yeah.
Give me that, brother. Third chapter. Hey, right, because anytime when we first came over here to serve slavery, right? When you learned about God and religion, when you went to church, when we were all kids, we thought this guy was actually Jesus Christ, man.
Yep, that's right.
I know I did. I thought this guy was actually Jesus Christ when I was a kid, man. I ain't know no better.
Right.
But your mother made sure you learned that bullshit, man. Until you woke up out of that bullshit. That's why most of you brothers, I know you had a hard time in school, right? I know you were a kid that was 7 years old, that the teacher had to bring you to the principal office, and what you say, get off, get off, get off, get off, and then you swung at the teacher, then they suspend your ass. Well, I was one of them damn kids, man. I was always, brother, the principal and the vice president, they knew me by my first name, man. I was always getting in the fucking fights. I was always throwing chairs and shit. Man, one time the principal came in, and it was, I grew up around Ephraim and Jake, man. And the girls never got in fights. They just moved to the side. This is when we was in like first, second grade. And we were throwing chairs, man, and the fucking principal had to duck. All right? That's how bad it was, man. You know? Go ahead.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first.
Yeah, what Paul was talking about was we're going to go into slavery, which we didn't even want to accept. Because when you go to Acts, the first chapter, when the Lord was risen up, what did the disciples do? They said, oh, now the Lord, he raised, so now he's going to take down the Romans, and we're going to have to... They thought the kingdom of heaven was going to come 2,000 years ago. So the Lord had to set them straight. And they still thinking that the Lord was going to come in that time, man. Go ahead.
Except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed.
Which is Esau, because back then, we wasn't calling the Romans Edomites. Paul and them wasn't saying, you really an Edomite. Because we didn't understand it. Now we have to understand it. Go ahead.
Quick precept for you.
Go ahead.
Luke 24:24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
Until their time is up. So their time is up right now. Their time is fulfilled. All right? Go ahead.
It says, and there, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
Now the word the son of perdition means the son of the son that's going to be destroyed, which is America. Go ahead. That's why that's in Revelation the 17th chapter as well. All right, go ahead.
Who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called God, or the Most High.
Yeah, because the Romans didn't do that. So that went over. Paul went over Israel's head back then because they didn't put up Caesar Borgia. Because back then in the Roman Empire,